name of your God, for he is God in all the earth. Boom. He come back and make a golden statue of himself. After he make the golden statue of himself and throw the boys in the fire, he come back again. And he start back doing witchcraft again, and he get another dream. He get another dream, and he had to call for Daniel to come and interpret the next dream now, because the next dream sent him crazy. Because basically God was warning him that if he didn't change his ways now, boy, like if he didn't repent, that he was or like turn from the wicked ways of Babylon, that he was gonna take everything from him. Like take his territory and cut him down, and saying, God, take the territory, cut him down. Until he started to profess his name. So when he started to profess God's name, hear what this man come and do. God give him back his eyesight, give him back the kingdom, give him back like he took it away from him. He leave him to eat in the dirt and go and live with peasants and all kind of thing. And then after until he declared the name of the Lord. So Nebuchadnezzar went through all of that, declared the name of the Lord. Come back now. When he get back all his riches and get back the kingdom, he go and put witchcraft in the middle of the kingdom and pull out all the gold from the from that used to be in the temple of the high priest from Jerusalem that they did steal, because he did take over Jerusalem, and that's how they ended up with Daniel and them following them now, because they took over Jerusalem. No, or Israel, not Jerusalem. I think it's Israel. They took over Israel. They held them captive, and they took those 4 boys and put them as the smartest boys that they had in the whole of Israel, right? And that's how they ended up being in the king's palace, because they were just as smart, and they started training how to be astrologers. They started training in all the things of Babylon, but the boys, they never gave up their religion, you understand? They just was listening. You ever hear that verse in the Bible that say you must be wise like as a serpent, but like as quiet as a mouse or something like that? Like you gotta be smart but be tender, you know? Right, so basically I was reading God give Nebuchadnezzar back the kingdom. You know, this man come back and start to do witchcraft again, and then after he do the second set of witchcraft, now it had a candle that pick up itself in the palace and started writing all over the wall. And when the king, when he see it, if his knees buckle, and he loosed his bowels because he didn't know what to do. So he called, and instead of calling for Daniel or calling back for God, he went and called back for the witches and the warlocks again. And God said, boy, but you doesn't listen. And I feel like, that was the princess of Israel. What do you mean, the princess of Israel? Baba boy Joseph. Good night. Yeah, so basically, night, brothers and sisters. Randall, Joseph, Lord, what is all these Josephs? But basically, I was like, God, why you have me reading this book, right? Only I looking mad. Only I tell him I looking mad. Or you just have me up on this app looking like a crazy person. Boys for chorus. What did I tell me? I was looking like I didn't have no sense. Well, just leave me here and then say nothing. My spelling could be off. Son called. Yeah, you're spelling off. Yeah. Nebuchadnezzar after that his son went and bring out all the they had another feast. And his son went and bring out all the gold and everything that they stole from the Hebrew boys when they did first captive Israel again now boy. And after that, like it went on the hand started writing on the wall and thing. And I say, but God, hear this now. How much time you show these people who you was? And like sometimes that's the thing about stuff that has come from Babylon. Cause I keep reading the whole Old Testament. God does even give the Babylonians a chance to see him, and like the Egyptians and all the people against him, God does give them chances, multiple chances to see, to show them who he is, right? And they like they just ignore him. Look how much chances he give Pharaoh. Look how much chances he give Pharaoh. Look how much chances he give Hezekiah, right? Look how much chances Hezekiah is another one who was in the Bible right after Josiah. He started believing in God and thing, and then boom, after that he turned around and show all he things back to Babylon. All what God give him, he give it back to Babylon. So that annual was a mad scene. So like, well, I have button and thing on my face. Oh my God, looking mad. Anyway, no, and he's give Babylon a chance, but somehow you could see inside of them, some of them don't want to. Some of them doesn't want to. They don't want to change, right? They doesn't want to change, but he's give people ample time. Like he's give them ample chances, and he's show them who he is at all times. So people who just say that they don't see God, that's a lie, you know. God does show people who he is, you know. You know much chances. You see a God to take your father down and put him right back up with a million and different one prophecies. And you telling me, after all that, you gonna turn around and after he build up his own golden statue and get cut down from God, get cut off from God, get his kingdom taken away from him, you will still go back and bring out gold and start to worship gold and silver and wood and all kind of everything to do with building and money and mining. He start worshiping all them things all over again. After you don't see what went on, after you don't see your generations perish for doing something like that, and that's something that's going on in this world today, you know. That's something I realize. We see God do so much things for us already, and yet still we just defy him left, right, and center, to go party, to go drinking, to go liming, to do everything under the sun. We just continuously keep defying God. We would choose to not follow what God say compared to actually following what God say. And them things doesn't make no kind of sense to me, because when I read back that book, the book of Daniel, so like reading that book just give me chills. When you hear about the dream that Nebuchadnezzar had, right? The dream that Nebuchadnezzar had was about the statue. And that book described the statue, right? Christ can walk in perfect wisdom like Daniel and Joseph to make subtle expansions to his kingdom. Subtle expansions to his kingdom. Yeah. And that's why I'm trying to say, like, if you're here, and then, like, I try to, if you don't know how to, like, I'm not even now, I'm talking, like, I is not the best Christian on the face of this earth, and I don't always get along with God, and sometimes I just watch these people who does, You ever sit down and try to think about who you are like more in the Bible? Like who you that is I just try to think about that, like what characteristics of which characters I have in the Bible, what good characteristics I have and what bad characteristics I have so that I could like change them. So I know my bad characteristics is that I a little hard na boy, and like I have a little issue with belief and releasing things to God, and like like I always have my own plan, and I just never want to give God my plan because I mistrust God sometimes, right? So this one boy, his name is Daniel. So he's a seer then, because that's what that means. In witchcraft, it means you have a seer name. So meaning that you in the spiritual realm is prophetic. Your name is prophetic, right? So Daniel is like a very serious name. People who have that name, they have spiritual. There's like you have a spiritual gift. No, right. It means that in English, right? But in the Babylonian, which is the Egyptian and that's the I'll tell you the name. I'll tell you that. Okay, so that's another thing. Like when you're reading the Bible, right? Yeah, you all had to learn to pay attention to certain things. You had to pay attention to what the devil how the devil does describe who you are. Because how the devil does describe who you are, he's have to tell that to the demons now, boy. Right? So when the angel did come down with they say the angel did come down with a seer from heaven to tell Nebuchadnezzar that God was gonna cut him off, right? Dog, when we get into this book, but we only gonna reach through chapter 1. But I just find that I want you to pick up the book of Daniel and read it, and don't only look to come when I live to want to read the Bible and thing. If all they don't see me for the week, all is supposed to be continuing from the chapters that I reading from and thing. All it relationship is not with God is not dependent on how much times I go live, right? No, you're not listening to what you're not listening to what I'm saying. The Babylonian name, that is the name that the devil would have given Daniel so that who working in his kingdom could know his strength and who he was in the spiritual realm. When you read like that's the reason why he renamed the men. The devil don't just give people names. The devil have his kingdom of people and he name his kingdom of people so he know exactly who they are, And so his demons know exactly who they are and things. So it's easy for them to spot them and they know. You understand? So when the devil have the audacity to rename one of God's children, to keep track of them, you had to pay attention to what he renamed them as, because whatever he renamed them as is what is who you are to the devil. So you study. That's how much you scare the devil. That's how much you scare the devil in the spiritual realm. You understand? Right. So like these is the revelations. Things I was just paying attention to while I was reading, because I was just Belshazzar is like a like they make a movie with a man and they put it in one of the children's movies. I think is Despicable Me, and they rename him that and they make him like a bad character. And I started to realize all the movies that they have, they just take these names from the Bible and they just write these stories of and puts it out for the children and all kind of thing to get them into mind control and switch up the Bible stories to make the bad people look good and the good people look bad. So that's why I started thinking about what I was like, where I went with that no boy. But anyway, I didn't read the Bible this like normal because I read the King James Version Bible. So like it real for me it's like something you had to real pay attention to and it real hard to keep focused when you're like reading the King James Version because it take a lot. Yes, they just change all the movies. Cause I was like he's the savior. So it's like it's a play on your mind now, boy. For the children, it's like they basically when you let them watch those movies, it teaches them the wrong thing. It's like indoctrination, but the devil indoctrinating them with lies now. So you gotta be careful where you letting your children watch and thing. Yeah, they teaching you how to hate God from small. Simple things as the name. Look how they changed that name. And as a Bible name and they went and put it in from the Bible. And I was just like, well, boy. And they just had some shows I just never show my niece and I realized it wasn't me now, it was God, you know? So anyway, I'm gonna start to read this fully because I wasn't gonna read it, I was gonna tell her go and leave, but I just when I was reading it bring chills to me, so I just gonna tell her. And in the third year, we're in the book of Daniel, chapter 1, right? What about characters you like? IGNs. It's who make up the whole of the nation of Israel. So all of Joseph's brothers made up the nation of Israel. So they just took after the name, right? No, we talking about the Bible. We ain't talking about cartoons. And it working because half them girls and them just be going behind men that they don't understand. Like, it's not the correct type of men. It's not the correct type of men because they just put in the movies you're seeing them going after Cinderella or what's this man name? Tangle, you're seeing the girl falling in love with the man who does thief and they're telling her, oh, she could change him with love and all this kind of stupidness. Dog, the only person who could change a person is God. God is the only person who could change a person. But the devil basically telling you his story. They have a series on Netflix called Lucifer. And they try to sell it to you like I never watch it. I only see clips of this stuff. Or Yu-Gi-Oh. That was real demonic and we used to be real watching now. We used to be playing that and you sit down there playing these card games that these people make that you don't know where they come from and they put in little demons on the cards and thing and you there playing the card games putting you know who does use cards? Them palm readers and all of them kind of things to tell your destiny, fortune tellers that God does tell you that he don't want you to deal up with at all. They use cards. I know what each one, every time they flip a card to tell you about it. So when you there sitting down playing them games, you literally flipping a card to your destiny, you know. You making spiritual contracts in the spiritual realm, giving the devil access to your life and thing, and picking the demons that gonna bother you for the rest of your life and you don't even know. And that's what we used to be doing when we was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And now I'm talking about what's the name? So if when you're praying, learn to pray all of them things out of your life. Yeah, monsters. Pocket monsters, you see? See? Like, and you send down there flipping cards and playing games with, you are playing games with pocket money. No, and every time you say something out of your mouth is a spiritual contract. So, all these things, I send down here now realizing that you need to not have the children listening to and not have the children and them paying attention. Like, watch what your children watching. You sit down and watch what all this Halloween nonsense, and they have the little monster demon Barbie dolls that they selling to the children and saying, and they're doing rituals in school and all this kind of weird stuff. Rebuke that. Cover your child when in the night and in the day when they wake up. Make sure you put the sign of the cross over their head. Take anointing oil and anoint them from the crown of their head to the sole of their feet. You understand? So yeah. Anyway, I look at a little mad, eh? I was around seafood today, so my face swelled up and I looking like one of them bumpy fry bait. And Daniel, in the 3rd year of the reign of King Joachim of Judah, came Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon unto Jerusalem and besieged it. Yeah, it was Jerusalem, right? That's what I say. So he took Jerusalem from Joachim. So Joachim was from Judah, the tribe of Judah, and he was in charge of Jerusalem at that time. And Nebuchadnezzar come and basically overthrew Joachim, right? Joachim. And took it over. And Nebuchadnezzar was Babylonian, right? Remember, Babylon never like God. They always rebel against God. And the person who created Babylon, like I told you, it was Nimrod, and he literally hated anything that was of God, and he created his own city and his own countries, and so that he could rebel against God. That was his will. So Satan did just, yeah. Right, so Nebuchadnezzar took Jerusalem from Joachim and besieged it. And the Lord gave Joachim, king of Judah, his hand. Basically, God lets Nebuchadnezzar take Jerusalem from him now. That's what God was saying. With parts of the vessels of the house of God, which he carried into the land of Shinar, to the house of his gods, and he brought the vessels unto the treasure house of his God. Right? So he took all the treasures that was in the temple. Well, let me say not the tabernacle. How you call that place? All of the things from the Ark of the Covenant, and basically they put all the stuff from the Ark of the Covenant into their shrine for their Babylonian gods, right? Because they didn't have just one god. They had like a million of gods. So whoever they wanted to call a god and whoever they wanted to worship, they used to create their gods and make days of the week to worship them, right? And they had their own worship session and thing, but they used to mostly worship like wood and silver and gold and like elements. And like burn incense onto them and create groves and make these rooms where they would go in and like make all kind of sacrifices and this that and whatever, or like so they took where the holies of holies and the Ark of the Covenant, and they took it into the Babylonian place of sacrifice, right? And that's where they kept it. And he brought the vessels into the treasure house of his God meaning the devil, right? And the king spake unto Asphera, the master of the Eunuchs. Alright, so the Babylonians used to have these I don't know if you all ever saw which is like the devil's kingdoms and thing. What they would do is they would have soldiers that would be castrated. That's what an eunuch is. So an eunuch is a castrated soldier, and those would be the soldiers where they were put to protect the headquarters of the women and the queens and the princesses and those sorts of stuff, so that the men wouldn't interfere with the women and thing, right? Because they wouldn't have no They wouldn't have no private parts to go and, feel no kind of way towards the women, so they could never do them anything wrong. So they used to be around the palace, protecting the women of that palace, of the Babylonians and things. So then they were very close